This week's show brought to you by SCAD, Scott Countyans Against Drugs.
Welcome everybody to the Scott County Cardinals News Graphic Football Coaches Show State Semifinal Edition. As the Scott County Cardinals are in the Final Four for Class 6A. How did we get here? Ice Road Truckers, as Coach McKee likes to say. Road Warriors, as I've been saying here for the past few weeks. It's a rarity. I know I've taken a lot of abuse for saying it would take a major upset for Scott County to get to this point. But if you look at it statistically, not many teams in any class this year won even once on the road in the playoffs. To do it 3 times in succession against the level of competition that SC faced is pretty remarkable. They took out 3 teams. They took out the number 1 team in Frederick Douglass, and then they took out 2 other teams that were ranked in the top 10 all season, particularly Simon Kenton. This past Friday night up in Independence, a 56-28 victory over the Pioneers. They came into the game with a 10-2 record, lost 2 games mid-season when the quarterback was injured. So they had some thoughts of this was their year as well, and both programs have been here time after time after time to the regional final. But it was Scott County's night. Just too much momentum coming into that game. Right off the bat, drove the length of the field to score to start the game, and then on Simon Kenton's first series, a pass was tipped. Glenn Covington intercepted it, returned it 35 yards for a touchdown, and just like that, it was 16-0 3 minutes into the game. And Simon Kenton's offense, as high-powered as it has been at times, not really geared to play catch-up, a lot like Scott County. They're a kind of team that has to control the tempo of the game, and when the Cardinals jumped out to a lead like that, it just wasn't going to happen. Great night from Austin Barnett and Bronson Brown as they combined for about 300 yards and just pretty much moved the ball at will, did the Cardinals. A couple of penalties got in the way and kept them from really delivering the knockout punch. But it was 29-7 at the end of the first quarter, 36-21 at halftime, and they just continued to pour it on in the second half, did the Scott County Cardinals, who will now move on to host Madison Central. First time regional championship for the Indians. And they had to go double overtime to do it. They beat Connor 28-27 on their home field at Madison Central in Richmond. To advance this week, the 2 teams have a little bit of a playoff history. Back in 2004 in the regional final at Madison Central, it was Scott County holding them off for the big upset win at the time. But again, as we all know, at this time of year, and we'll get into it in the print version of the paper this week as well, it's Scott County's time. I mean, they have been here time after time. The extra practice that you get every November, the extra game experience that you get for your young players throughout that long extended season. You play 13, 14 games every year. It just adds up, and it makes your program better. And it does get you ready for the road trips and the tough games at the end. And Madison Central, 5 years in a row, had lost in the first round of the playoffs. This is new territory for them to come to Toyota Stadium on Friday night for that 7:30 kickoff. So all signs point to Scott County being in control here. Just got to take care of business. Can't turn over the ball. Have to finish drives. Defense was a little banged up after the Simon Kenton game. Burke Watts was knocked around a little bit. Adam Grieving, Rylan Reed. But I think all systems will be go there, and just got to stay in control the way they did against Simon Kenton and against Frederick Douglass. Jumped out to the lead, and Campbell County too, for that matter. Just right off the bat, scored immediately on their first drive, and never lost control of the game. Winning the toss certainly helps too. Some luck goes on their side, on the side of Scott County, but you got to take advantage and get that lead, and then kind of strap up and make some plays defensively, which they have. So everything rolling downhill. They are 1 win away from going to Kroger Field, are the Cardinals, and that semifinal game will be at home against all odds Friday night. The past couple of years, this is the 3rd year in a row Scott County has been here. Lost at Lafayette on a 2-point conversion in the closing seconds, 48-47 in 2016. Lost in Louisville to St. X, 48-34 last year. Been knocking on the door, but being at home, just a whole different comfort level for the Cards. Being heavily favored in that game as well should help. You look on the other side of the bracket, kind of as expected, as you might expect over the years, Trinity and Mayo will be going at it. The winners of those two games on Friday night will meet Saturday, December 1st at 8 p.m. at Kroger Field on the campus of the University of Kentucky for the state title. Cardinals have only been there 3 times. They've won it twice. They've been there 3 times under McKee, won it once, and then of course they won the title in '75 as well. Won it under McKee in 2013. If you're wondering about Coach McKee, this is the Coach's Show. We usually speak to him. A lot of different deadlines this week for both the Cards and for us here at the News Graphic with the Thanksgiving editions due. So we're not going to have any player or coach interviews this week. Just wanted to preview this game, give you a chance to get a little taste of what to expect on Friday night. And we hope you'll be there. No excuse for not having a big crowd. Sounds like the weather is going to be good. Temps in the 50s during the day. No rain. Finally didn't have any rain at the Simon Kenton game either. It was a cold Friday night, but a clear one. And that's what we're expecting this week as well. So.